Stuart Gilligan Griffin, born on June 18, 1997, also known as Stewie in Family Guy, has always been recognized as an antagonist on the show. He consistently commits a series of crimes, from attempting to kill his own mother in earlier seasons to owning a weapon room full of guns later on. But have you ever considered how seriously scary his sentence would be given the number of crimes he has committed throughout the series? Well, I found every major crime Stewie has done in the show and what his sentence would be if he were to stand trial for them. So grab some snacks, relax, and enjoy the video. Stewie's goals and ambitions. Stewie originally had two goals in life: to murder his mother Lois and to take over the world. However, as the show progressed, Stewie gave up on these plans and became more of an anti-hero, prone to mocking others for his amusement. With this character development, while he wasn't as bad as in the earlier seasons, especially season 1 to 3, he transformed into more of a jerk who sometimes reverts to his old self. In many episodes, Stewie engages in various violent or criminal acts, such as robbery, carjacking, loan sharking, forgery, and eliminating many minor characters. The list of Stewie's crimes. Now let's take a deeper look at Stewie's most dangerous and violent crimes. Then I'm going to detail how he would be prosecuted according to Rhode Island rules, which is where the show is based on. Attempted murder of his mother.
I did it! I killed her! She's dead!
Stewie Griffin has repeatedly attempted to murder his mother Lois throughout the show. Attempted murder, meaning trying to cause another person's death, in Rhode Island is a serious felony that could result in a sentence of 10 to 20 years in prison. Factors like premeditation of or use of a deadly weapon could increase the penalty, which Stewie does usually use a weapon, so he would most likely get the 20-year sentence. Mind control attempts. Stewie has also attempted to use mind control on several people, including his family and friends. If this involves manipulation or psychological harm, charges could range from assault to kidnapping, depending on the control exercise and harm done. Penalties could vary, but might include 5 to 15 years in prison. Attempted to rid the world of broccoli through weather manipulation.
Open up for the airplane.
Never! Damn the broccoli, damn you, and damn the Wright brothers!
My, aren't we fussy tonight? Okay, no broccoli.
Very well then, Who the hell do you think you are?
Honey, it's not gonna go away just because you don't like it.
Well then, my goal becomes clear. The broccoli must die.
In an episode, after being forced to eat broccoli by his mother, Stewie attempts to take measures to destroy all vegetables by building a weather control device. This attempt involved creating destructive weather patterns or causing harm. It would fall under environmental laws. Penalties could lead to years in prison based on the magnitude of the destruction or the danger posed. Assaulting a stranger. Stewie physically assaults many random strangers in the street during a fit of anger throughout the series. Depending on the circumstances, this could range from a simple assault maximum to 1 year to aggravated assault up to 20 years, particularly if the victim sustained serious injuries or was threatened with a weapon. Using Chris as an android, Stewie manipulates his brother Chris into becoming his personal android servant. This could amount to unlawful restraint or kidnapping, leading to similar consequences as before, up to 20 years or even more.
Eviscerate the proletariat.
Eviscerate the proletariat!
If you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where fashion sits?
Putting on the Reds!
Not my bit, but still funny. System off. Splendid. Ah! All right, now walk up to the counter. That's it. Ring the bell.
Well, hi there.
Good day, shopkeep.
Good day, shopkeep. I require a hand-operated buzzsaw capable of cutting through a human sternum.
What?
It's for a school project.
Stealing Meg's diary. Stewie steals valuable personal property from his sister Meg. Theft is generally a misdemeanor, but can escalate to a felony depending on the value. If the value of the stolen property does not exceed $1,500, it is classified as a misdemeanor, punishable by up to 1 year in jail and a fine of $500. Because May's daughter isn't worth much, Stewie would probably be paying the $500 and going to prison for a year. Kidnapping Jeremy. Stewie captures Jeremy, his babysitter's boyfriend, because he jokingly claimed Stewie was trying to steal his girlfriend, which I mean he somewhat was, but I don't see the reason to get mad at him. Kidnapping is considered a felony offense punishable by imprisonment for not more than 20 years.
All right, that's it. Jeremy must be destroyed.
Mom? Dad? Mom? Is anyone there? Little man? You in here?
I say, I think this is how you change a tire, but what do I know? I'm just a baby! Here's your iPod so you can listen to the streaks while you gasp for air.
Burning down a house. Enraged, Stewie sets fire to a house in Quahog after Brian tells him that the medals he won meant nothing. Arson involves willfully setting fire to a structure, which Stewie does, with penalties ranging from 5 to 25 years, depending on whether lives were endangered or property was destroyed. Since in this case, nobody was hurt and only the house was damaged, it's likely closer to 5 to 10 years. Carjacking. Stewie has stolen several cars from strangers while trying to make quick getaways. This is a serious felony defined as taking a vehicle by force, carrying penalties of 10 to 25 years due to the violent nature of the crime. And because Stewie used guns in a lot of cases, it will most likely be on the higher end.
Get out of the Get out of the Go right now, man! Do it! Go do it!
Manipulating Brian's dating life. Stewie interferes in all of Brian's relationships for his own amusement. In season 10 episode 3, Stewie disrupts Brian's attempt to be a responsible father figure after he adopts a child. In season 13 episode 3, Stewie's jealousy over Brian's new girlfriend leads him to sabotage their relationship in a humorous way. While ethically questionable, relationship manipulation isn't a crime. However, it could lead to civil claims based on emotional distress in specific scenarios. In Rhode Island, if your interferences lead to disorderly conduct, you could face up to 6 months in prison or a fine of $500. If the interference is deemed as stalking, it is classified as a felony, potentially resulting in up to 5 years of imprisonment and a fine up to $10,000. Attempted murder of a kid. Stewie nearly murders a child after pushing him on the playground, although initially he showed kindness. In Rhode Island, if a child is found guilty of killing another child, the implication can vary significantly based on their circumstances and the age of the offender. Generally, they could face serious charges similar to murder, which may result in severe penalties, such as lengthy prison time. Signing up for the army without consent. Stewie and Brian falsely enroll in the military, causing a scandal. This could deal civil penalties or fines, although imprisonment is unlikely unless abuse was involved, which it wasn't unless you count this as an abuse.
All right, shouldn't be too hard to get ourselves kicked out.
Right, we've just got to convince them we're not army material. Ready?
All right, let's do it.
Wow, look at how gay we are. I am so gay with my gayness.
Me too. I'm a homo.
Any room for one more?
Hell yeah!
Torturing Brian's siblings. Stewie implies that he captured Brian's siblings, placing them in a torture room to convince Brian to take him to a concert. I mean, he could go to such troubles but couldn't manage to get the tickets himself. In Rhode Island, those charged with torture-related crimes could face severe penalties, potential life imprisonment, particularly in cases involving murder or aggravated assault. Assaulting Brian. Throughout the series, for various reasons, including Brian owing him money or Stewie being jealous, he physically attacks Brian. Depending on the injuries sustained, this could lead to misdemeanor or felony assault charges, with sentences ranging from a few months to several years due to the brutality of these attacks.
Yeah, that hurt?
Burning down a restaurant. Stewie engages in arson by burning a restaurant he and Brian owned just because they couldn't manage it anymore. Similar to the other arson cases, this could result in a sentence of 5 to 25 years, especially if lives were endangered or it involved robbery. Attempted murder of Santa Claus. Stewie attempts to kill Santa in the episode titled Road to the North Pole after being disappointed by a mall Santa. Stewie and Brian embark on a journey to the North Pole to confront Santa and teach him a lesson. Similar to previous murder attempts, this would lead to serious felony charges, likely resulting in 15 years to life in prison. Kidnapping in the Simpsons crossover. In a crossover episode between Family Guy and Simpsons, Stewie befriends Bart after staying at their house due to his family's car being stolen. Upon witnessing Bart's bully, Nelson, beating him up, he decides to kidnap and torture him. In Rhode Island, kidnapping involves unlawfully confining a person against their will. The seriousness escalates when minors are involved, classifying this as a felony with potential imprisonment of up to 20 years.
You know, Nelson, I don't doubt that you've had a twisted childhood. Most evil people have. Hitler, Manson, Jaden Smith. But you're different from them, aren't you? Because they're rail thin and you're fat. You're a little piggy, aren't you, Nelson? In fact, I bet you're hungry right now. What's that? I could eat. Good, because you're going to eat my shorts.
Taking all of these hypothetical crimes into account, particularly involving attempted murder and kidnapping, a court in Rhode Island could feasibly conclude with sentences accumulating to multiple life terms, plus additional years for any remaining crimes. So while the total could look like 150 years on paper, realistically, if convicted of multiple felonies like attempted murder and kidnapping, Stewie would likely receive life sentences. After all, nobody is likely to live 150 years naturally, so this would definitely mean a life sentence for Stewie Griffin. But the real question is, who even dares to take out Stewie Griffin? I mean, if all the things he has done in the series, if it just makes sense to leave him alone at that point. Thank you guys for watching the video. If you have any suggestions or recommendation about any type of video you'd like me to make, please comment them down below. See you next time.